In this video, I'm going to show you how to install MySQL Server on Windows 11 and establish a connection to the MySQL database using VS Code and execute SQL queries. We are also going to fix some of the common errors that you may encounter while installing SQL Server and successfully connect to the MySQL database using VS Code. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, on your Windows 11 computer, open your favorite web browser and visit the following links. The first link in the description will take you to this page where you can download the SQL Server. If you already have installed MySQL Server, you can proceed to the next part. To install MySQL Server on Windows, you will find two available installers. The first one is the online installer, which downloads the SQL Server during the runtime. The second one is the offline installer that bundles all the tools as a complete package. I'm going to choose the online installer. Once you are finished downloading the MySQL Server on your computer, head over to the second link and download VS Code. Now place both files somewhere on your desktop for easier navigation. Now go ahead and open MySQL Server. Now choose the setup type. You can select Developer Default, which is recommended for most computers and installs the MySQL Server, MySQL Shell, and MySQL Router. Then click on Next. The install might display a warning if the requirements are not met. If you have not installed Python, you may receive an unsatisfied requirement message. Simply proceed and choose Yes to discard it. These are the tools that will be downloaded and installed, including MySQL Server, Workbench clients, and more. Now click on Execute to initiate the installation of the tools. This process may take a few minutes. Sit back and relax. Once it's completed, click on Next. It's time to configure the SQL Server. For the config type, leave as Development Computer and click on Next. Now, as you can see, the default port number for SQL Server is already set, so leave everything to the defaults and click on Next. For the authentication method, choose Strong Password Encryption. Now set the password for the root user. By default, MySQL Server creates a root user and you need to assign a strong password. You can also create a standard user account and set a role to interact with the database. Now click on Next. Leave this section with the defaults and proceed by clicking Next to apply this configuration. Alright, now everything is done. Now click on Finish. Lastly, you need to apply the router configuration. Simply click on Next and choose to finish. Now, as you can see, this is the server we need to connect to, which is running locally on this machine. At the bottom, you can enter the username and password to verify or validate the user. I'm going to test the root user, and as you can see, the check mark indicates the authentication was successful. Now click on Next and apply the final configuration. That's it, the installation is complete. I'm going to uncheck these two options. Now open File Explorer and navigate to the local disk C, Program Files, and look for MySQL folder. Now inside this folder, locate the MySQL bin directory. Next, highlight the address bar at the top and copy the location of the MySQL bin directory. Then add it to the system environment variables. To do so, open the search bar, type environment variable, and click on Edit the system environment variables. In the system property window, click on Environment Variables. Under the path variable, choose Edit and click on New to add a new string. Paste the location you copied earlier. Now this will allow you to interact directly with MySQL from the command prompt or PowerShell. Once it's done, open the terminal by right-clicking on the desktop. Now inside the terminal, type MySQL -- version to check the install MySQL version on your computer. Now it's time to connect to the MySQL server. To do so, type MySQL -h localhost to specify the hostname. Now use the uppercase P to specify a port number, the -u option to specify the username, which in this case is the root, and -b for the password. Then press the enter key and type the root password. Voila, now as you can see, I'm inside the MySQL REPL environment. I can easily execute SQL statements. Let's query the database by running show databases. Now let me quickly create a new database called Oracle. Inside this database, I'm going to create a table called EMP. Now I will populate some data into this table. And that's it. Now our database is ready to be connected from VS Code. Now go back to the downloads folder and proceed with the installation of VS Code. Once it's finished, open VS Code and select the extensions option. In the search bar, type MySQL and install this extension. Once it's installed, press Ctrl+Shift+E on your keyboard to open the Explorer panel. At the bottom, you will see MySQL shortcut. I will drag that shortcut to the top. Now click on the plus button. Enter localhost as the hostname, root as the username, and enter the password you set. Leave the port number as default and press enter for the file path to leave it blank. Now you can see that we have successfully connected to the MySQL server. If you click on this arrow on the sidebar, you may encounter an error. Now this error occurs because the extension does not support the latest authentication protocol. To resolve this issue, we will create a new SQL user that uses the old authentication protocol, which is also supported by the extension. Anyway, let's go back to the terminal and enter the following SQL statement exactly as shown over here. Now replace the two placeholders with your design name and password. Next, type the other statement and replace this part with your name. Lastly, type the statement to flush privileges. Now return to the VS Code. Right-click on the local host and choose to delete the connection. Then click on the plus button. Enter localhost as the hostname, type username, and the corresponding password. Leave the port number as default and press enter for the file path to leave it blank. Now you can see we have successfully connected to the MySQL server and all the databases are visible. Let's start writing some SQL queries. To do so, select the desired database. Right-click on it and choose a new query and save it. Now you can start writing some query. Once you are done, select the query you want to execute, right-click and choose Run. Voila, now you can see the results on the right-hand side. The great thing about using VS Code is that you can write as many SQL statements as you want and easily highlight the query you want to execute. Now, this is helpful for testing and learning MySQL using VS Code. It reminds me of the Oracle Apex environment, which works similarly. Also, feel free to check out the other SQL extension that supports the latest authentication protocols as well. That's pretty much it. This is how you connect to the MySQL server and run queries using VS Code. Let me know what do you think about it. Thanks for watching my video. This has been KSK Ryle. I will see you in the next one.